Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining me today. I am Bonnie, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me on the web at www.stampingwithbonnie.ca. I am going to show you today a fanciful card that I did at my Christmas in July card class, and it is called a step card. And everybody wanted me to share how I made the template, so I've got that all written out for you, and the card is pretty fun. It's a great little Christmas card. You can find it in our annual catalog, the stamp set. The stamp set is called Ready for Christmas, and it is featured on page 102. And it comes with, or you can buy, additionally, you can buy framelits for it. And the framelits are called the Christmas Staircase, and they are absolutely fantastic. All these little pieces that you do not have to cut out, my friends. That's what we like. So page 102 in the annual catalog. And if you decide that you want to buy something as a result of this video today, I just want to let you know I have a little special in October, and I will give you your shipping back. That's right. So if you decide to order something, I will send you a credit for your shipping or an e-transfer for the cash. And that is my little October special. So what I'm going to show you today, right now, is the template for the card. And what I did was just cut a regular piece of cardstock in half. And you can see that it's a little bit bigger because this is an exact piece of cardstock, 8.5 by 11, and it's cut in half. So you have to trim off 1/4 inch off the end. Part of the reason why it's a little smaller is so that it will fit in a traditional envelope, or you can go ahead and make your own. So we're cutting off that little bit, and then we're going to score this card exactly in half. So that's going to be at 4 1/8. I don't know if you can see in the video that I've actually made little cheater marks on my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. So then the next step I'm going to do is at right in the very center, this lengthwise, I'm going to make a cut. So I'm going to start my cut at 1 1/4 right here, which is going to match my score lines, all the way up to 5 7/8. What I love about this trimmer is it has this little ruler right alongside there, so it makes it a little easy. I turn my cardstock around, and I'm going to do some scoring. And remember, I'm only scoring half of the page, and that's going to create the step. So the first score is at 1 1/4. I've got my little cheat line, and I've got this feeling to see where the cut is so that I don't have too messy. And then the next one is at 1 3/4. And then 2 7/8. This is going to make the steps. Everybody's going to think you're a genius when you pull out this card at Christmas. And last cut, 5 7/8. So then what you're going to do is fold on all the score lines. And if you have a bone folder, you can use that to get your score lines quite creased. And there you go. Simple as that. What a great fold. And it makes a great card once you have it all put together. So I'm just going to put away my trimmer. And the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is the wonderful holiday catalog, which I absolutely love, and featured on the front of the catalog is a brand new stamp set called the Winter Woods, and we're going to use that for our tree today. I know there is a tree on the Ready for Christmas stamp set, which I used in July, but I'm changing it up for this video. So the tree that's in the Ready for Christmas stamp set is a flat tree, but it stamps and cuts out beautifully, and you see I have it decorated. And this tree that we're going to use from the Winter Woods set actually has some 3D dimension to it, so that when you put it on the card, it actually appears popped up a bit. So how you're going to get that effect is like this. We're going to stamp the Christmas tree twice. And then we're going to cut it out on the big shot. So I'm using Garden Green. I love the tone-on-tone colors. You'll have to stamp the exact color on the actual cardstock. And I like the effect that it gives it. You're going to notice there's a little bit of place that doesn't actually grab the ink, but once you've got it on the tree, you don't actually notice that. So don't worry, we're not going for perfection here. So then what we're going to do is just place this on my big shot, on my magnetic sheet. We're going to sandwich it in between the two cutting plates. And you're going to notice that this stamp set actually cuts out the tree a tiny bit smaller. So again, giving you the illusion that you've got a 3D effect on the paper. Hope that didn't shake the camera too much. And this is what we have for our tree. Also, I'm going to show you the Take Your Pick tool that just came out in the holiday catalog. Love it! So, couple different ends that you can use. This has got like a pointy edge, so you can pull your cut out piece of paper out of your framelit. And then this, it's not that difficult really, has a little spatula so you can pick up, I don't know, sequins or little gems. And I was using it for this. So you can actually just pull these up and then you get your little 3D effect. So then what I'm going to do is glue, get rid of that, glue the Christmas tree onto the other. And I'm using my Tombow glue for this. When I have small details, I like to use glue because tapes and fast views and things are a little bit more difficult to maneuver. And you want to make sure that the tree actually sticks on. And just like that. So we're going to let that dry a tiny bit, but once it does, it's fantastic. So you can see how you can shape it and you can get these little pieces to stick out. So I already have one ready to go, and I'm going to show you how I attached it to the card. I actually took a scrap piece of white paper. Whenever I'm making cards, I end up with a ton of these little strips. So whenever I figure out a use for them, I'm always really happy. So what we're going to do is actually just create a bit of a stand, so to speak. So what we're going to do is we're going to add glue here and attach it to the card, and we're going to add this. So the tree isn't actually going to be stuck on the card, so you're going to get to see the effect of it being 3D. Whoops. So we'll let that dry a bit. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to show you another use for this Take a Pick tool. If you do that, it's actually letting out a bit of putty, and it's great for picking up little bits. So for instance, when I wanted to attach these little ornaments to my glue dots, I simply pick them up with this tool, and then I can attach them strategically to the tree, you know, because it's so precise. I don't know about you, but when I'm decorating my tree, I love all my favorite little ornaments that come out of the box, but there's no precision. I'm not that meticulous. So I'm just gonna stick that one out there. So So our tree is all ready to attach. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our card and put those over there. Messy workstation. Like that I can put lids on things, tidies it up a bit. So the next step here is we're going to do a tiny bit of stamping. So the back of the card has a greeting and one of the little dash hounds on it. And I have to tell you, I have a girlfriend and her family have a dachshund named Yahtzee, and it's fantastic. Love that dog, so sweet. And I hope they don't see this video because I am going to give them one of these cards for Christmas. So, Merry Merlot, and I'm going to stamp on the Merry Christmas greeting, which I love, from the Mistletoe Season card stamp set. It's in the annual catalog as well. And then I'm going to attach with my dimensionals one of the little Yahtzee dogs to the back of the card. And I'm going to tell you a little story because I have a chocolate lab, so I love dogs. And I typically make a whole bunch of shortbread at Christmas. And my dog literally lies in the kitchen and waits for a crumb to fall on the floor. You know, some cookie to slide off. So I'm going to put this on the back of the card right now. And it's a Christmas tradition. She's 8.5 years old, so I would make dozens and dozens of shortbread cookies. My entire family loves them. We give them away as gifts. We love to share crafty things, and baking is one of them at Christmas. So Georgia will lay in the kitchen, and last year we literally caught her at Christmas eating shortbread cookies off of a 3-tiered cookie tray because we had staged them on a smaller table that she was able to get at. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but she does love shortbread cookies. And this is the stairway that I'm adding glue to attach to the card, the front of the card. And I used the wood grain. Now this comes in a 6x6. I've like smudged my glue a bit there, but you're not really going to see it because of the wreath that we're going to use. I'm actually just going to place this under here because I think I put glue on this and you don't need it there. So you could move it over. I think that was my problem. I didn't actually have it close lined up here. So now the next step will be to add the tree. Now remember, you're not going to put glue all the way up on these because then it'll stick to everything. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. I'll attach that there. And I don't know if I said anything about this, but one of the reasons why I have all these pre-prepped is because I am the slowest colorer. I love to color, but I also have a bit of OCD about it because I want it to be perfect. I know, it's homemade. It doesn't have to be. But for speed of this card, I wanted to color everything in advance. So the markers that I used were Merry Merlot, Garden Green, the Granny Apple Green, and then the Sahara Sand for the cookies. So I love using our Stampin' Up markers. You know, we have 2 different kinds now. And all of these little bits were cut out with the framelit set. So when you, I stamp them all, and then I run them through the Big Shot, which is fantastic if you don't like to cut. Some people like to cut. I know my partner does. So very easy to use this whole set of framelits and stamps. So now the next, we're just going to put Yahtzee on here again. I wonder if Yahtzee likes people cookies. I'll have to ask Janelle. There we go. And then the last thing we're going to do is the greeting on the front, which I've already got the piece of paper. This is 1 inch, and I just made it, I guess I made it too long, and that's me. I made the mistake of not pulling this over, so you can see from the sample card you want to pull it over just a tiny bit. But we're also going to use this trio, detailed trio punch. What I love about it is you've got 3 different punches you can do. And I really, really like rounding corners. This is from my scrapbooking days, I think. Rounding corners on photographs is a big deal. So any kind of detail that you can add, fantastic. And I'll use the Mary Merlot ink again. How do you like the new ink pads? Have you had a chance to use them? I really like them. Just have to be a tiny bit careful when you're opening them. Just fine. Sharing the joy. A couple of dimensionals on there. Oh, I stamped it on the other side too. Yep. The last video I did, I got these little pieces of paper stuck on my fingers that had glue on them, so that's the dimensional paper gets stuck on everything. So there we go. And the last little detail are these fantastic little wreaths. Now these are in the annual catalog as well. They are called the Boxwood Wreaths Embellishment, and this year you can also get them in an iridescent white. There's 12, and they're all ready to go onto your card, like that. And I just used, there you go, the leaf is stuck to my finger because of the glue. I just used the glue dots to actually attach this. You could attach it right onto the wreath right here, or you could place the glue dot. Probably could use this. Lovely. Take your pick. You could place the glue dot onto your project where you wanted it to go. And then it's got metal in it, so it will form to whatever shape you want it to. I don't know if you can see that if I'm still in the camera view. In the center, I'm peeling off the glue dot with my Take Your Pick spatula and attaching it to the stairway. And might want to put one more on the end. And there we go. Ta-da! So you see how the tree moves a little bit there? Everybody gets a little thrill sometimes when you've got some moving parts on your card. So there you go, everybody. This is fantastic, unique folding card. You can sign your names on the back. You don't have to write too much. The sentiment's there. And if that card resonates with you and you want to do some shopping, feel free to go to my website and click on Shop with Me. And if you create an online account, what will happen is I will get a notification that you have placed an order, and I will send you a refund of your shipping. And I sure hope that you've enjoyed this video today. And if I can answer any questions, feel free to send me an email or give me a comment, and I would be happy to answer them. And thanks again for joining me.